Hello everybody. Thanks for coming in to another video of mine looking at the odd, the strange, the woo. Today I'm bringing you to Ethiopia, to an area called Lalibela. This is an interesting site for the melted building scenario. Over here, as you see, the little map pointing to North Ethiopia, which is very close to Egypt, no surprise. And you see this little building in the ground. Well, I'm going to take you there now. Let me stop sharing this and grab a photo. Yeah, this is what is over in Ethiopia. Is that not trippy? Look at this. It's a building in the ground. And as you can see over here, something's very melty. Now, I'm not sure if this black stuff coming down is ancient or recent. It's hard to tell from here. It could just be tar somebody poured for some reason. But look at the building. Very ancient stone with very ornate windows and doors. And down here, as you can see the notches on the windows, that's very Mayan looking to me. And then you can see back here, there's something going on. But see, very melted. Now, and then here it's not. It's like, how did this structure survive? I don't know. But it's way down in the ground. Let me get some, I have tons of pictures of this because it's just fascinating. Let me get another. Here's an aerial view just to show you. And let me get rid of that last picture. Okay, an aerial view. You can walk in through this corridor. You start up here and you walk down in through these corridors. Now, it's hard telling when this was all kind of like cut out. Hard to tell. But it looks, again, very precision. Now, going back to the Wikipedia description of this area, they are trying to point the reader to the 7th to 13th century, that these were built by Christians. Okay, first of all, Christians weren't very spread out by the 13th century. It took a lot longer than that. Well, matter of fact, they weren't really Christians, I don't think, in the 13th. Officially, Christian started right around oh gosh, I'm going to have to go back for that, but not quite the 13th century. 13th. Oh, I'm just getting this all messed up. Forgive me for even saying any of that. Let's go back to the picture. Yeah, this is just dated like at the beginning, of our AD. Let's put it that way. And I don't think so. This looks very, very ancient and very odd. You can see, look at all the melty stuff going on around it too. Let me get out of here and to the next picture. Hopefully I won't stumble over timelines. Okay, here's one more from the aerial. Yeah. And see over here, it's like everything was very well planned out and hard telling when this was cut out. I'm almost thinking that the mud flood happened and there were still survivors of that time. And for some reason, they went back to this area and had to cut out this building to get something. That's what I'm thinking. Now, again, they're attributing this all to the Christians because, as you can see, the top of the building has what they call a cross. I think it's just an X or a plus sign. I don't think it's a religious symbol. I just don't get that feeling. And let's get a little closer now. Oh, and this is, I brought up the wrong picture, but that's okay. We'll go right here. This is another building in the area, as you can see, is in the rock. Look at that. And like things melted up and things melted down around it. And let me see. Okay, now we're going back to this building. Look at the ornate windows, and it's like something happened. Something, as you can see, the yellow melted kind of into the red stone, if you want to call it that. And all of the ornate design. I mean, that takes a lot of work. Just think of putting in a simple window in your home, let alone doing something like that. And I want to show you some of the steps again going up to these areas. Now, of course, they're going to say, well, you know, hundreds of people have walked these steps and they've worn them down. Possibly. But again, it just kind of has that more melty look. Like something came up and just really melted this area. And stop and go to the next one. Let's see what we got here. Oh, here's the doorway. See, to me, this looks very Mayan. It has a Mayan, you know what I'm, and this is in Africa. These styles of, you know, decorating around the doors and windows are all over the world. Just you could take this picture and show it to people and say, where is this located? China, South America, Africa, Russia. I mean, you can just pick a spot, India, and they'll go, oh yeah, that's where it's from. Because it's so hard to tell apart, you know, it's just, and look how accurate. That's a lot of work. And I just don't think that the people in the 7th to 13th centuries, got it right this time, really had the wherewithal to do this. Look at this. And also, too, you can see, yeah, they'll say it's weather wore down some of, you know, the designs on this building. But they almost, again, look like, you know, they were struck with something very hot. Parts of them just didn't make it. Other parts did. You know, and that's stone. They carved stone X's and, well, today we'd call that a backwards swastika, but it's really more of an Eastern Indian type design that has a meaning in the Hindu religion. I won't go into that because I'm not clear about any of that. And here we've got some people inside. Look at the stone. Look at this. Now, I just can't imagine people in the 7th to 13th century doing this as Christians. You know, why? Why would, you know, all over the world we find all of these monasteries, for lack of a better word to cover them all, supposedly carved in by the priests and monks and shaman of the area. It's the same old song and dance from the experts that do the geology and history for us. It's just the go-to knee-jerk statement that we should all follow because they're telling us this, that the monks carved all of this out. Right. That's all I have to say. And yeah, going back, let me go back to the Wikipedia. Hold on a second. And I'll show you, you know, it's just the typical word salad, medieval civilization, blah, blah, blah. They want to put it in this era, 11 to 1200, you know, whatever. The Dark Ages. Oh yeah, we all did this in the Dark Ages. You know, so anyway, you can read up on this. I don't recommend Wikipedia because it's just the same old regurgitation of what they want us to think our history is. And it's not. But a very interesting area to look at if you're into the melted buildings and mud flood theories. Yeah, I just thought I'd put that out there. Let me grab one last picture before I head out of here. Where are you? I'm going to go back to this one again. Yep, walking out. Look at this Supposedly, it was cut out of stone down in the ground. Look at the precision, I'm sure. Well, I mean, somebody obviously did this. I'm going to say our really ancient ancestors that had high technology could just cut into stone like butter. And then something happened. And I don't know why this survived, but you can see the melty stuff going on around it. Maybe because they put it down lower or something, it survived. Got flood. Maybe they did this intentionally and then flooded it, because some people now have a theory that the Great Flood, I'm stumbling again, is intentional. Like they knew this melty thing was going to happen, and they brought the flood in to help alleviate some of the problems. So this might have just been underwater and just didn't get hit like other things did. Anyway, just a good theory to put out there. I am going to keep this short, and I hope you are all well and stay frosty.